In this section, we will look into Android design patterns like MVC, MVVM, and MVP. At the end, we will write some unit test cases as well. So stay tuned. Let's get started with our first topic, which is MVC. You may have heard about the word MVC, Model View Controller. This Model View Controller approach separates your application at a macro level into three sets of responsibilities: model, view, and controller. So view is basically your UI, or you can say your XML file, which is visible to you and you can interact with it. Once you interact with it, it will notify to your controller. Controller is a basic class which contains the logic and interact with the model depending on the action triggered by UI. So it set up the view accordingly. It interact with the model class, save data or get data. The model class is basically your business entity or data that view is displaying, and then controller set up the view according to the response received from the model or the logic you have written into the controller. So now let's start with our practical implementation. This is our basic application. When you create a new project, you have only two files, main activity and main XML file. So let's go to main activity underscore main XML file. Make its orientation vertical. We have changed it into from constraint to linear layout just to make it more simple. Gravity, center. Now we will add two widgets. One is edit text and other one will be our button only. Match parent, wrap content, edit text. You can pass hint, enter your name and its ID, username. Same as button, text, submit, and on click we can define any function. So on click, on button, click. It gave us error because we haven't defined this function in our controller. So go to main activity, public void on button click, and in constructor we need to pass view. Now go back to your main activity file. You can see here, go back to your main activity file, and now you can see we have one edit text, one button here, and on button click is not giving us any error anymore. So now we will get this edit text, save it into our model, and then our controller will interact with view and model. So our controller interact with our view using this function name, and how it interact with model we can see it in controller. So our main activity is our controller file in MVC. So now let's create our model class. We call it user model, and it will contain only one component and its string name. There you go. Now let's create an instance of model class user model. User model is equal to new user model. Now we can save data in user model. First we need to get the data from our edit text. Let's access edit text. User name is equal to edit text. Find view by id r.id.user name, and then user model dot name is equal to username dot get text dot toString. There you go. So that's how MVC work. Why it's not a good approach? Because all your code is in main activity, and once you are developing a big application, it will make it messy. In conclusion, over the last few years, the community has largely moved away from the model view controller pattern in favor of more modular, testable patterns like MVP and MVVM. Its biggest reason is that all logics are implemented in controller and view are pretty dumb, and controller is directly interacting with our views as well as our models. And we can't run automated unit test cases. So people move to MVVM or MVP. So our next topic is MVP,